Alrighty, it's time to catch Carmen red-handed, and red-hatted, and red-coated.
Your next stop is North America 1776. A key American document should have been signed by now, but it's nowhere in sight. You'll be handling a political hot potato, Inspector. I'm sending Polly Tix along to give you good advice. She knows all the political angles and the lines and curves, too. Good luck, and give Ben Franklin my best.
Now, this was the mission that kind of stopped my progress as a kid.
What a blast to the past! We've arrived in the American colonies on the 4th of July, 1776, and that founding father is none other than Thomas Jefferson.
The misfortune! The Second Continental Congress is assembled and waiting for me, but my final draft of the Declaration has been stolen.
No need to get all wigged out, Mr. Jefferson. We'll help you make your declaration.
Greetings. Forgive my distraction. The Declaration draft I was composing has been purloined, and the Congress is waiting on me. I am Thomas Jefferson, a representative of the colony of Virginia. I've been working on an important document for the American colonies called a Declaration of Independence. Actually, the idea for a declaration was inspired by a 5-man committee, of which I am just a part, but they asked me to do the actual writing. I have a bit of a knack for writing, so Adams and Franklin asked me to write out the Declaration. I've been working on it for 2 solid weeks. The American colonies live under the rule of King George of England, but his unjust rule has overtaxed our patience. We have decided to declare our independence. The king overtaxes the colonies and gives us no say in the matter. This is called taxation without representation, and it is most unjust. Delegates from all 13 American colonies have formed a Second Continental Congress in Philadelphia. They are waiting to sign the final declaration, but I haven't finished writing it yet. A thief stole my first draft of the Declaration of Independence, and I don't have enough parchment for a rewrite. Parchment is the key. If you can find me just a modest scrap, I'll be able to jot my thoughts down again and take them to the Continental Congress. If only I knew. The British taxes and naval blockade have caused a serious shortage in items like glass, lead, and paper. You'll have to keep a sharp eye out for parchment.
Well, we've got somewhere to start at least.
In England, men wear powdered wigs in Parliament, and in the colonies, we wear them in Congress. They can make debating a truly hair-raising experience.
Go to... I guess we can only go to Philadelphia. I thought there was another exit from this screen.
Farewell. Please return if you find any parchment.
Oh, we thought you might be Jefferson. Where is that man? We need his declaration draft soon, or the colonies may never gain independence. Hello, fellow patriots. The Continental Congress is getting anxious. Jefferson has not yet arrived with the Declaration. Benjamin Franklin's my name. Inventor, statesman, and clever writer. Ever heard of Poor Richard's Almanac? That's my publication, full of clever proverbs. A proverb is a witty little piece of homey advice. Here's one of my favorites. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Not bad, huh? Well, here's something off the top of my head. The delegate who completes our declaration sublime will save the American colonies in the nick of time. The delegates here are waiting for Jefferson to arrive with his draft. Then they need to make the hard decision to sign the Declaration. Not everyone is convinced that separating from England is the best thing to do. John Adams has worked to convince everyone that independence is our best option. But independence does not come without risks. If we lose our war for independence, everyone who put their signature on the Declaration of Independence will lose their heads. We're really sticking our necks out for this.
Yeah, we'll get to this in a bit.
John Adams has been a great help. He's convinced many delegates to sign the Declaration.
What is there to do in New York? I don't even remember this screen. Ah, yes.
G'day. Blimey, but all this garden has made tea time a distant memory. I can't remember the last time we had a cup. Truth to tell, I'm a proud servant of my king, but I do feel for the colonists. They've been paying very steep taxes these days. Well, it's my job, you know. Besides, many British think these American colonists are just brewing up trouble about their tea taxes.
One of these redcoats is holding a mop, it looks like.
Well, the colonial Minutemen are scrappier fighters than we expected. My soldiers are better disciplined, of course, but those colonists really want their independence. Why, this is a lead statue of His Honored Majesty King George III. My Marines and I have been assigned to protect his kingship from rebel scavengers.
Why lead?
You can look, but you can't touch. My job is to protect this statue. I can't have you making off with anything. Oh, for a cup of tea. When His Majesty taxed the tea, the colonists boycotted the stuff. They've declared coffee their new national drink. Tea is just impossible to find these days. The colonists have stopped drinking tea to protest the tea tax devised by King George. It all started with that Boston Tea Party in 1773. Some tricksters boarded 3 of our merchant ships, dressed as Indians, and tossed every crate of tea into Boston Harbor. Outrageous!
Foot of the statue.
Well, look at that. King George looks a little footloose.
Hey, no touching the toes. Just like a colonist. We give you an inch and you try to take a foot.
We're probably going
On
to
your
need
way,
that.
then. And keep an eye out for tea.
Hey there. I'm just taking a minute to write a letter to Mother. I'm a Minuteman. I'm supposed to fight British redcoats, and I'd be off like a shot. But like many Minutemen, I have no ammunition to shoot. Those blasted redcoats took most of our ammunition. Musket balls are made of lead, and lead is heavily taxed by the British, so there isn't much around. Oh yes, we depend on England for most of our supplies, and we'd be in a bad way without their imported goods. I'm writing a letter to my dear mother on this piece of parchment. I'd rather be off fighting, but without musket balls, a letter is my only pastime. Well, if I'm not fighting, I'm sitting here writing. But you know, if you scavenged up some lead musket balls for me, I'd drop this old letter in a second. Good luck. The lead needed for ammunition is near impossible to find these days. We soldiers scavenge it from pipes, monuments, plates, you name it. That British warship is blockading our harbor. Those Brits are preventing friendly countries like France from sending us fresh supplies. Well, first there was the Boston Tea Party, and now a full Revolutionary War is brewing. We colonists will win or die trying. We're outnumbered, but we fight cleverly, Indian style. We don't stand in silly straight lines like those Brits. I just turned 15. You could say I'm just a rebellious youth.
I'm surprised they're pointing out child soldiers.
Well, not really. But because the colonial army is so outnumbered, any man or boy old enough to aim a musket can join.
Look at all that flotsam and jetsam. Must be stuff still floating around since the Boston Tea Party a while back.
I tried to fish, but I've been reeling in nothing but junk. Hey, you can't take my pole. But you can fish with it here if you want.
Oh, good.
Hey, we caught a boxfish. Actually, it looks like an old tea crate from the Tea Party. Cool.
Oh boy, tea!
Back to Manhattan, New York.
You know, it's a good thing our good guys have super speeder. This would take forever.
Great kings of England! It's honest to goodness tea! If a bit waterlogged. Come on, lads, it's tea time!
Oh ho ho, what do we have here?
Splendacious. It's a piece of the Carmen note.
You go and take your station. Also, yoink. Here, have some lead. Oh, come on.
That's a nice chunk of lead, but it's much too big to use as a musket ball.
I mean, yes, you could make it into a musket ball. Do I have to do everything for you?
Superific idea! Making ammo out of the lead statue. You're a high-caliber crime fighter.
No, now we're just an accessory.
Yow! Thanks for the musket balls. Now I have my shot at joining the Continental Army. Long live the American colonies!
Oh, come on, let me keep the fishing pole.
Back to Manhattan, New York.
Now, as a kid, I actually discovered a glitch that actually did put the fishing pole into my inventory. Something to do with this easel, and then that created yet another glitch, too. I'm not going to try to recreate it, because that would actually softlock the game.
Parchment! You deserve volumes of praise. Now I can rewrite crucial parts of the Declaration of Independence. I've written
There
down
once
all
was
the
a ship
important
that
points,
put
What's
to
that?
sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew harder, bowed it down below my...
The hell? I had some web page open up. Oh, great. That seems to have broken the game. I think it basically saves on every screen, so let's see what happened. Yeah, we missed him running away, but he left a piece of
Superific!
Carmen note.
You found part of the Carmen note. The suspect's schemes are going to pieces.
Safe and nice inside a Jefferson device.
recommendation. Let's catch up with Jefferson in Philadelphia.
Well, the sea shanty was rather appropriate. I
Good
wish
to
that
see you
hadn't
again.
gone off
You're
then.
just in time. Ben Franklin is just now posting my paragraphs up for review and arrangement.
Alright, so this is the puzzle that really screwed me up when I was a kid.
Greetings! Many thanks for helping Tom obtain the parchment. But now we must get the declaration in proper order. Well, my outline presents our ideas in an organized fashion. It should help us arrange Jefferson's paragraphs into a sensational declaration.
Yes, indeed. So just match up my paragraphs on the left with Franklin's outline on the right. Good luck.
So, for some reason, I could not get this in order, no matter what I was doing. So, date and declaration. Every stage is forbidden. We therefore... this one first. Yeah, the glitch I got somehow duplicated one of these blue ones and put it in an empty slot down here, which meant I had an unassigned piece of the declaration I could not assign, which soft-locked the game. Sometimes relations between two groups, there's no choice but to split apart. I think that's the next part. Point, everyone has certain rights that no government has a right to take away. Wait, business, no. I think it's that one. List of complaints. Oh, nope, that's this one, so... a certain right that no government can take away. Okay. Whoops.
Well done! Jefferson's paragraphs match our outline perfectly. We have a most convincing declaration on our hands. Well done! You've helped organize this document into a memorable Declaration of Independence. Now, let's get those delegates signing before they lose their nerve, hmm?
Ta-da!
Superific! You reconstructed the Declaration of Independence. Now let's track down our thief. Yeah! That's the final fragment of Carmen's note.
Wonder where all the delegates went. Sure to avoid disturbances from his noisy dinner servants.
Fantabulous! I'll activate the time cuffs.
We need to go back to Jefferson's home. Also, at some point, my stream reset? I don't know why it did that. It's a good thing I'm doing a local recording. Hopefully that didn't get screwed up, though. Also, dumbwaiter.
Hey, that's using your noodle. The dummy was waiting in the dumbwaiter. Fantabulous! It's a major accomplishment to catch General Mayhem. Come on, General. You can think about independence. Independence.
You can court-martial me, but you'll never put Carmen Sandiego on trial.
Well done! You re-jailed General Mayhem, bartered your way from Virginia to Philly and redrafted the Declaration of Independence. I salute you. Thanks to you, the 13 colonies are on their way to United Stateshood. But don't get too comfy. There's another crime dead ahead in time. Can I put you in charge of the case?
Here's where some of my knowledge starts to fail me. Although, wait, I think I can remember. I know what this one is.
Next stop is the early 19th century. Lewis and Clark should have crossed the Rockies.
Yeah,
by
there's
now,
one
but
mission I
instead,
can't remember
they
in the
seem
middle
to be
here.
Stopped in their tracks. Better see if you can get them moving again. Once again, you'll be exploring unknown territory, so I'll send Rock Solid as your good guide. Good luck, and watch out for rattlesnakes.
I love time travel, but I'm getting tired of resetting my watch. The great outdoors. It looks like we're in North America where the Missouri River emerges from the Rocky Mountains. It's 1805, and we've run into the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Are you sure those journals aren't in the saddlebags? How could we let someone nab our notes like that? What are we going to do?
I've told you I searched those saddlebags a dozen times. Blast the luck. We'll never cross the Rockies without those notes.
And none of my Shoshone kin are nearby to help us.
Say, it sounds like someone's pilfered the pockets of these pioneers.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about this mission.
Greetings, strangers. You are welcome in our camp. My name is Sacagawea of the Shoshone tribe. Lewis and Clark hired me as a translator and to help guide them through the mountain wilderness. I grew up in these mountains with my people, so I know of many dangers. On the steep cliffs, you must skirt the surly bighorn sheep. Avoid the strong current of the river. Most of all, beware the hungry bear.
Boy, those sound like puzzles.
I have many memories of growing up in these beautiful mountains. I remember days spent weaving a tall basket. I also recall the sounds of my brother playing his drum. I later lived among the Mandan Indians on the plains. It was there I learned to make a sharp tomahawk. I also learned to make a sturdy moccasin.
Notice how she's making all those gestures.
When I first met Lewis and Clark, they had just completed a long day's travel. They were very tired, and I offered them a blanket. Right away, they were both fast asleep.
My name is Lieutenant William Clark, one of the leaders of this expedition.
And I'm Captain Meriwether Lewis, the other leader. We're in charge of the group you see here, called the Corps of Discovery. The Corps was formed by President Jefferson to explore the land from the Mississippi River to the shores of the Pacific Ocean.
Excuse me? I think you've been out here in the wilderness too long. Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and now he's the president.
We were literally just talking to him. Why did we have to ask that?
These peace and friendship medallions were given to us by President Jefferson himself. We hope to trade them with Indians in the mountains, but without our journals, we can't take another step.
Sure, you can find a route through the Rockies for us. And since you're willing to stick your necks out, take this medallion to trade with any Indians you meet.
I think Lewis is voiced by, Ivan Idea.
Those journals contain all our notes about the untamed lands west of St. Louis. The observations in those journals are invaluable because folks back east don't know much about the West yet.
He went west through the mountains. The journals he snatched also contain advice from the local Indians on how to cross these mountains. Without them, we're between the Rockies and a hard place.
We can't risk the core without those journals to guide us. Except for our guide and translator, Sacagawea, none of us have ever crossed such a great and dangerous mountain range.
Well, to the
Good
puzzles.
luck. Don't get eaten by bears.
All right, there's a pass through the mountains. Shall we pass on through? Uh-oh, that ram is in no mood to let us horn in on his territory. What we need is some local advice.
I can't get the note with the ram there.
Let's use Indian Sign Language to ask this Shoshone for advice about getting past that irate ram. Let's use Indian Sign Language to ask this Shoshone for advice about getting past that irate ram.
Seems I need a drum.
That Indian looks like he wants to trade, so let's tell him what we need.
Hey,
Way to wheel and deal. Maybe we can use our new item or trade it back.
There we go.
We found part of Carmen's note. She won't pull the wool over our eyes.
Go where the rivers flow west. Oh look, another note.
All right, Inspector. Who says clues don't grow on trees? That's part of the Carmen note.
Play a game of hide and seek.
That Shoshone woman seems willing to trade. Let's tell her what we're looking for. Too bad. This Shoshone doesn't have what we asked for.
Oh, back we go.
Okay, down the mountain we go.
I'm slowly remembering this mission.
That Indian looks like he wants to trade, so let's tell him what we need.
Do you have it? You do.
Way to wheel and deal. Maybe we can use our new item or trade it back.
This is an interesting take on a trade quest.
Great idea. Just be sure you aim that tomahawk at the tree and not at your old friend Rock. Oh yeah. Timber! Good work, Inspector. And thanks to that Shoshone for showing us the way. Stay on your toes. Or at least stay on your feet. We don't want to fall in. Eureka! We've reached the top of the Rockies, and that path ahead leads on to the Columbia River. Great galloping grizzlies! Where'd that big bear come from?
We need a blanket.
This Indian has no treasures to trade, but he might still have some useful advice. It's all downhill from here.
Do you maybe have the blanket we seek? You do.
Way to wheel and deal. Maybe we can use our new item or trade it back. Stay on your toes, or at least stay on your feet. We don't want to fall in. I see what you're getting at. Okay, watch this. Way to go. With that bear gone, we can continue west to the Columbia River.
That's not how that works!
Westward ho, let's go! But first, let's head back east and round up the core of Discovery. We're back! We found a terrific route through the Rockies.
Was your journey difficult?
No, we just had to grin and bear it. Come on, let's load up the portable boats. It's smooth sailing from here. We've reached the Columbia River. Now Lewis and Clark can float by boat the rest of the way to the Pacific. Hey, that's the third and final piece. This letter will spell trouble for our thief.
Thanks for the
If we
lurk
can
hex.
figure it out.
Sealed within a Nezpier's boat.
I'll fire up the time cuffs.
Let's find out which of these boats is that one it just said. Corp, help along the way. Rugged type of canoe. Burning a log and digging out its charred center. So probably this dugout canoe.
Say, that dugout canoe is the Nez Perce style boat mentioned in the Carmen note. Back to Acme Jail for you, Baron, and you won't get away a second time.
You've got me grounded, but you'll never get a bead on Carmen's high-flying plan.
Congratulations once again! You rebusted the Baron, learned to speak with your hands, and led Lewis and Clark to the Columbia River. Thanks to you, the wildest part of the western U.S. is well on its way to being tamed. Great going! But there's more lawlessness in the very near future, Time Inspector. Can you move on to a new case right away?
Yes, in this case, I don't remember what it is. Oh wait, now I do. Now I remember. Because now I remember a voice we're going to hear.
You're making a short hop forward to 1808 in Vienna, Austria. The sounds from Symphony Hall are strangely silent, and that means something's amiss. You better lend an ear to the trouble. This time, your good guide is none other than Renaissance herself, conductress of the Acme Philharmonic. Good luck, Time Inspector, and try to stay on key.
Welcome to Vienna. It's 1808, and the gentleman with the creative hair is the Maestro Ludwig van Beethoven.
Also voiced by Charles Martinet.
Ah, misery! To have mine 5th and 6th symphony scores stolen just as they were to debut this evening. I am doomed.
Could one of Carmen's crooks have caused this classical caper? Let's find out what happened.
But first, a note.
You don't miss a beat. Finding Carmen's note can be quite an earful.
Blend in with classic harmony as part of Ludwig's symphony.
Hello, forgive mine mournful state, but some rogue has purloined the precious scores to mine 5th and 6th symphonies. I am Ludwig von Beethoven, the best composer here in Vienna. You've no doubt heard of my wondrous symphonies.
Of course.
Why, a symphony is a composition played by a large collection of musicians called an orchestra. I am at work on some bold changes to traditional symphony music. I am taking the symphony far past mere entertainment music. I wanted to express human emotions and intellectual ideas. Mine 5th symphony is filled with passion, and mine 6th has the gentle touch of nature. But all is lost now that these works have been stolen. Frustration! My temper has little patience for the patrons and musicians who fail to understand mine music. Also, mine hearing is poor and getting worse. Ach, tension is necessary for creating powerful music. And creating music is my greatest joy. It is the only time I am truly happy.
Got to love his renunciation.
A light-fingered female snatched the scores to my new 5th and 6th, and they were to premiere tonight. Without these bold new pieces, the public will think that I am slipping, and my reputation will be kaput. Perhaps I can quickly rewrite the symphonies, but only if you can rehearse the openings with the orchestra while I complete the scores. I will now recreate the fifths, my work of deepest passion. You must take the opening pages to the orchestra when I am done. Stand back. This piece sets me aflame.
I am going to get a massive copyright strike, although I think this is public domain.
Zeist, how invigorating.
That's the rewritten opening to Beethoven's Fifth. This symphony moves from a feeling of tension to a triumphant ending. Let's take it to the orchestra.
That opening should make the orchestra players earn their salaries. Have a fine rehearsal.
Here we are at the Symphony Hall, and the orchestra's warming up. Are you ready to try reordering Beethoven's Fifth?
Yeah, so this is the main puzzle of this one. So let's see. We give her the sheets. She'll play what's on it.
I'll play that one.
Okay, that's the end.
Sure, I'll play that one.
That's the second to last. That's the beginning, which means the green one is in the right place. Also, sight reading music at a performance, not a good idea.
That was so emotional. Ludwig is a genius.
Congrats! Finally, the Fifth is in harmony. Now let's see how Beethoven's doing on the Sixth.
I'll have to mess up the other one because I forgot there was a critic in the audience.
Had enough of a tune-up? Let's head back to Beethoven's flat.
Ah, returned already. I am positively gleeful to hear that the rehearsal of mine fifths went well. If you give me just a moment, the opening to mine sixth is almost ready. There you have it, the opening to mine sixth symphony. Please, set the orchestra to work rehearsing it while I finish the remainder of the piece.
First, note.
Ludwig's sneeze made quite a breeze. It stirred up a Carmen note.
Hide where many notes are found, but use your own distinctive sound.
Hello once more. Where can that rotten rascal have gone with the scores to mine fifth and sixth symphonies? When you ask so politely, of course.
Right, this one.
I feel so relaxed.
Okay. I probably will
That
mess this one
opening
up.
should make the orchestra players earn their salaries. Have a fine rehearsal.
Is that near the end? I think that's the beginning? That sounds like the second one? I think that's the end, but for the sake of showing the error.
Let's lead these melodious folks through a rendition of Beethoven's Sixth.
You can hear where it changes tracks.
This was said the dog, darling. Beethoven must be losing it.
We're almost on the beat. All it needs is a final tweak.
Maybe switch these two around? Because that did sound like the end. There we go.
Natural, like that grass in a mountain meadow.
We've dissed disharmony and straightened out the melody. The sixth is in place, and Beethoven has arrived. Tonight he'll be conducting his fifth and sixth symphonies for the very first time.
Fast forward. I'm awake.
I could not have finished without your help. Thank you. And now, I'm off to celebrate and consider my next symphony, the ninth.
Wait a minute. You just finished the fifth and sixth symphonies. Wouldn't your next be the seventh?
Ah, but that is so predictable. I prefer to juggle many symphonies in my mind at once. Also, math was never my best subject. Ah, one last thing. Perhaps it is mine hearing, but something in the orchestra didn't sound quite right. A theory worth investigating, perhaps? Anyway, auf Wiedersehen.
a note.
Congratulations is where we're at. We've found the Carmen note's final scrap. Let's check the Chronopedia for some decoding.
Bring a modern instrument with you, unique to marching bands.
I'll activate the time cuffs.
Now, I know the solution. I am not sure how you get it unless you're supposed to click on every single instrument in the band there. Ah, wait, here we go. Many new instruments were devised after Beethoven's death for use in orchestra and band. Some of these were the sousaphone, saxophone, and electric guitar. There's a sousaphone here.
Of course. That sousaphone made for marching bands is definitely off-tone in this orchestra. The sousaphone wasn't invented until 1850, so it shouldn't be part of an 1808 orchestra. Nabbing Jacqueline Hyde, our mistress of crime, is like catching two thieves at the same time.
Enough with the rhyming.
Well, Inspector, we've made our double troublemaker face the music. Jacqueline Hyde broke out of prison once before. This time, there won't be an encore.
I must say, it's nice to see you sleuths again.
But you'll both be history once Carmen polishes off her plan.
Sharp work, Inspector. You flattened Jacqueline Hyde and helped Beethoven rescore his 5th and 6th symphonies. Thanks to you, the most sublime moments in Western music have been saved for us all to savor. All 8 escaped crooks are back in jail for good. But Carmen must have another operative on the job because there's more trouble ahead. Can you take another case?
Indeed. This is the one I mentioned who was in the group shot that we did not actually capture in the first half.
Speaking of electricity, you're headed for the age of invention. Menlo Park, New Jersey in the 1870s. There should be a buzz about the electric light bulb by now, but I hear someone's blown a fuse. Better see if you can illuminate the problem. And you better take Ivan Idea as your good guide. He's great at inventing ways to take on trouble. Good luck, Inspector. And don't forget to turn out the lights when you leave.
Whoa! Epic time traveling! We've touched down in Menlo Park, New Jersey. The year is 1879, and that invention expert by my side is none other than Thomas Alva Edison.
Hey, this is no time for chatting. I must recreate the world's first light bulb before the night is over.
Go figure. I thought Edison had a working bulb. What's holding him up?
Maybe this note on his window.
Hey, you nabbed a note.
Liberate a famous sphere, electric glow I find quite dear.
Good day, and forgive the disarray. My light bulb project is looking dim. Thomas Edison is my name. I'm an inventor of clever new technologies. Perhaps you've heard of the electric light, the phonograph, the duplex telegraph, or the motion picture camera? I had a hand in all of these. Everything. I have over 1,000 patents, many developed here at my Menlo Park Research Lab.
Is it Thomas Edison who is accused of, like, stealing most of his stuff from other people? I can't remember.
I'm trying to recreate the filament recently stolen from my first electric light bulb. I have a meeting with some important investors in the morning, and the bulb must be burning by then. It's slow, hard labor, full of reversals, but I don't mind. I like to say genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Well, I had just perfected my light bulb using a new carbonized cotton filament, and it worked. but a scamp disguised as a scientist made off with the bulb. Now I must build another bulb before dawn. I could remake the bulb easily, except I need more cotton thread for the filament. The factory across the street has thread, but they're closed at this late hour. More cotton thread would be capital if you can get any from the closed factory. Someone really needs to invent a more convenient store, open 24 hours a day.
Wow!
No.
Edison really does think ahead of his time.
Being someone who works for a superstore that used to be 24 hours, no.
The phonograph was Edison's first claim to fame and his all-time favorite invention.
Please try out my phonograph, which records and plays back human voices. Skeptics think it's just a magic trick, but it's for real.
Mr. Edison, how about recording a few pithy statements for posterity?
I'd love to. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
So now we have this.
The phonograph has a recorded sound on its cylinder. To play the phonograph, move the needle to a groove on the metal cylinder and crank the handle. A part of the recorded sound will play.
I'd love to.
Edison's rendition of Mary Had a Little Lamb really was the first recording on a phonograph, you know?
Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow.
You can probably see where this puzzle is going. I saw a note under his foot.
Ah, yet another faulty filament. Reverses are an incentive to great accomplishment.
It's cool you're so mellow about a setback. Try again. Look at that. We've replaced the recorded cylinder with a new blank one.
Stop. There are no tours to the rest of the lab until I've rebuilt my light bulb.
Nope.
It's a Carmen note! Righteous!
Or your next job will be in jail.
Joe, the boss of Joe's Cotton Cornucopia, works behind that window.
How would you know that?
Who's knocking? I can't see a thing out there. What are you, a detective or something?
Yes.
I'm just a late-night guard working a graveyard shift. Well, what do you expect? How would you like staying up all night gardening a lousy pile of cotton? Hey, I don't know. I'm just the guard. I'll have to call the big boss and ask him. But he won't like it. Hold on.
Hello, this is Joe. What? They want to borrow thread? It's the middle of the night. Listen close, guard. Do not give those rascals a spool of thread. Tell them to come back in the morning when we're open.
Here's the scoop. The big boss says you louses should come back tomorrow, during normal business hours. Now scram! Oh, sure. I bet you just love staying up all night guarding cotton. But it's a living. Long enough. I'm telling you, life is a lot of hard work in this industrial age. Maybe I'll join one of these newfangled unions.
Okay, so you might have figured out this puzzle by now. Oh, on the window.
Interesting. With a phonograph there, we'll be able to record any conversations that happen inside the boss's room.
Who's out there? This puny window blocks my view. Hey, I don't know. I'm just the guard. I'll have to call the big boss and ask him. But he won't like it. Hold on.
Hello, this is Joe. What? They want to borrow thread? It's the middle of the night. Listen close, guard. Do not give those rascals a spool of thread. Tell them to come back in the morning when we're open.
Here's the scoop. The big boss says you louses should come back tomorrow, during normal business hours. Now scram!
All right.
That phonograph has a recorded sound on its cylinder.
Hello, this is Joe.
Far out. You'd almost think that Joe was standing right beside me.
Sure.
What? They want to borrow thread? It's the middle of the night. Listen close, guard. Do not give those rascals a spool of thread. Tell them to come back in the morning when we're open.
So we want the first one and then second to last one.
Who is it? I can't see anything in this dark.
Hello, this is Joe.
Oh, is that you, boss? Good evening. What can I do you for?
Back.
Give those rascals a spool of thread.
But didn't you tell me before that never mind. You're the boss. If you want me handing out tread in the middle of the night, that's what I'll do.
Hey, we scored a spool of cotton thread. Edison and his light bulb will be loving us.
And that is how we get filament. Here you go, Edison.
How on earth did you do it? That factory will never give me thread during the night. Anyhow, this cotton will make the perfect filament for my new light bulb. If it weren't for your acquisition skills, I'd still be in the dark. Ah, what a long-lasting glow. And now I can finally get some long-lasting sleep. Goodbye.
And he just leaves us in the lab.
Way to go! You scored the third Carmen note!
In Ed's invention, wait for me, it starts newfangled Model T.
I'll juice up the time cuffs. Let's nab ourselves a thief. It's an alkaline battery.
Da-da-da. In fact, Henry's... Years later, Ford asked Edison to design a new special alkaline battery which could start his Model T automatically. Nope, I don't want the phonograph.
That phonograph has a recorded sound on its cylinder.
I wanted time cuffs.
Bullseye on the battery! Edison invented it to start up Ford's new Model T.
You Acme airheads will never put the bite on me.
Whoa! Decryption charged right out of that battery. After her!
Too bad, Acme agents. You may have found me, but my vile force field generator will keep you from grabbing me. You'll never hack through.
Bummer! The Force isn't with us when it comes to that force field. We need to knock it out of commission somehow. The generator's electricity is lighting up the bulb. I worked on something like this at Acme's home office, but it turned out flaky. Just one small electric jolt, and the whole thing would short out.
Come on.
This is an old-fashioned generator which produces electricity when we turn the handle.
Yeah, turn the handle.
Bummer! The filament fizzled, breaking the electric circuit. We need a better bulb to fry that force field.
Nice bulb you have there. Not.
So I'm wondering why she wasn't in the first half of Crooks to capture. Yoink.
That old test bulb had to make way for Edison's latest model. Looks good.
I got it. How many Acme agents a screw in a light bulb.
Great work! You shorted out the force field machine, and I've slapped the cuffs on decryption. We are one step closer to Carmen. Your hacking days are scrambled for good, D.
Yeah. You may have crashed my code, but you won't get Carmen.
Yay for you! You engineered an elegant solution to that problem. Decryption is in the cooler, and Edison is in the history books thanks to your fast thinking.
She must have had so much
Because
fun
of you,
playing
Time
the Chief.
Inspector, the world is a brighter place 24 hours a day. Looks like you've caught all of Carmen's creeps. But there's still a major problem dead ahead. Can I put you on a very big new case pronto?
Jawohl, Herr Chief.
You're headed for the early 1960s and Star City, USSR. Yuri Gagarin is supposed to be blasting off as the first man in space, but there's a problem. He's not on board his rocket. There's got to be a very clever criminal behind this.
Gee, I wonder who's left.
Idea will be your good guide for this case. I hope the two of you can connect with the cosmonaut and make the countdown happen. 3, 2, 1. Good luck!
Rangers in space!
Looking for something, time snoopers? I'll bet you are. Well, I'm finished with your little chrono skimmer, so you can have it back. That is, if you can find where I've stashed it. Oh, and don't mind me. I'll just be making my getaway. Have fun.
Well, shit.
Holy time tunnels! We almost had Carmen in our cuffs, but she slipped away.
Star City, we have problem. It seems the rocket has experienced some tampering. Liftoff postponed until further notice.
Tampering, eh? Sounds like quite a time crime. Let's check it out.
First screen we don't start with someone to talk to.
This big ship is called the Vostok 1, and that little fella is Yuri Gagarin, Russian cosmonaut. According to history, he's about to be the first man in space.
Suffering Soviet catastrophes. While boarding my rocket, I noticed an unauthorized woman messing with the equipment and had to abort the launch. Now I can't strap back into my capsule until the computer clears me for takeoff.
Uh-oh. Yuri Gagarin, the first man almost into space. Won't sound too good in the history books. Let's get to work.
Also, I've always found it weird that you get 2 missions in a row with Ivan Idea.
Who has tampered with my rocket? I thought the site was secure. I am Yuri Gagarin, Soviet cosmonaut. Soon to be famous cosmonaut, once that countdown starts counting again. Soon, I will be the first person launched into space. Laika went before me, of course, but she was only a dog. They chose me to be the first human. Like any Soviet cosmonaut, I am highly trained and qualified. Mission Control also thinks my photo will look good in newspapers around the world. Perhaps it is my boyish smile?
Sure.
Yet, I won't get back in until I'm sure it's safe. After all, one little mistake, and boom! Yuri becomes permanent space cadet. No, thank you. Not until countdown begins again. When the flight simulation computer at Mission Control says that Vostok will launch without problems, then I will cram back into my capsule. Well, you could run a flight simulation on the Mission Control computer, If it works, the countdown will start, and I will be able to re-enter my rocket and blast off. It simulates a rocket flight plan using a series of special cards. If the cards are ordered correctly, the simulation will run successfully and the Vostok countdown will begin again. Yet, problems you will not have. It is not rocket science or anything.
Actually, it is rocket science.
So it is. Perhaps you would like to tour the Vostok and learn its secrets? Basic concept of a rocket flight is most simple. First, rocket roars up into space. Small capsule at top detaches and begins orbiting around the Earth with one smiling Russian inside. Eventually, orbiting capsule slows down. Re-entering atmosphere, it crashes down to Earth. Boom! But hopefully, Comrade Yuri will float softly down in parachute instead. These are the booster rockets which propel the rocket upwards at escape velocity into outer space. Once in orbit, the boosters detach and fall away.
Must learn about rocket.
That crimson word means Vostok in Russian, you know.
We've opened a hatch. What are those?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You are most amusing astronauts. No, those are fuel tanks. They hold kerosene and liquid oxygen, which mix together as the first step in a rocket flight.
That's no crazy straw. It's a fuel line that pipes liquid oxygen and kerosene into the rocket tanks. CCCP stands for the Central Committee of the Communist Party. These were the folks running the Soviet Union in the 1960s.
Ah, those patriotic letters. They do warm my Russian vessel.
Because we had to get one vessel in there somewhere.
That capsule is my cozy little home during the space flight. When the capsule re-enters the atmosphere, I eject from it in my ejector seat and parachute safely to the ground.
Alright. Back to mission control. So
this punch card tells the computer to fire the retro rockets.
Parachute, detach booster, mix fuel, heat shield, ejector, night fuel, oxygen. So mix fuel, night fuel, attach booster, retro rockets, oxygen, heat shield, ejector, parachute?
How about we run a simulated flight, Inspector?
Nope, oxygen comes first.
Nope, the flight plan is out of order.
So, oxygen and then retro rockets. We win!
This is totally excellent! The computer simulation verified we have a healthy rocket, and the countdown is running again. Let's go make sure Yuri is back in his rocket.
Oh, but let's see what this printed.
Well, let's check out the final report. Coaxial fibrillator in alignment, inertial insulation active, and... Hey, wait a minute! What's this on the other side? Holy mackerel! It's a note from Carmen Sandiego!
Sorry, Time Inspector, I couldn't hang around. I left the Chrono Skimmer in a flying lost and found. Reason you deserve a chance to find the thing, of course, I recommend you take a peek near Yuri's main fuel source.
Brother! I think Carmen may have put the Chrono Skimmer in a rocket, which is about to blast off! Hurry! We've got to find it!
Star City, this is Comrade Yuri Gagarin, ready for final countdown at T-minus... what are you comrades doing back here? I'm about to finally blast off.
Sorry, Yuri. Someone stashed something important in here, and we've got to find it.
Well, by Lenin's whiskers, hurry. This is a solo mission. 3 comrades in a capsule is a crowd.
I love how this also only gives us the middle piece of the note for this.
Can't talk now, comrade. Situation critical. As soon as you retrieve your item, I'm taking off.
Nice radio. Negative on the Chrono Skimmer.
Oh, Mama, you must hurry and go.
It's an early model TV camera, but no Chrono Skimmer here.
Hurry, hurry, find your object and go, please.
I love the panic in his voice.
Mission Control plans to fly the rocket by remote control, but Yuri has a secret password that lets him unlock and use the manual controls if something goes wrong.
Hurry, hurry, find your object and go, please.
Through that portal, Yuri will get his first glimpse of the Earth from space. Our time device isn't there.
Comrades, running out of time.
That's the ejector seat. Good for one cosmonaut, but no Chrono Skimmer.
Are you out of things to say now?
Can't talk now, comrade. Situation...
Mission...
Hurry, hurry, find your
Okay,
object.
yeah.
Of course! Yuri's main fuel supply isn't rocket fuel, it's human fuel. Food! Woohoo! We got the Chrono Skimmer!
Oh, fantastic. Now then, Moose. And don't forget to close the door. There will be quite a drop outside in just a few seconds.
Right, we're out of here. Good luck, Yuri. Way cool! Yuri Gagarin has blasted toward his proper orbit in world history. And now that we've got the Chrono Skimmer, we can tunnel through time directly to chase down Carmen Sandiego. Let's go!
Excellent work. Not only did you get Yuri out into space on time, but you retrieved Acme's most important crime-fighting device, the Chrono Skimmer. For that, I'm proud to promote you to the highest rank a time pilot can achieve. You are now a time sleuth. Ta-da!
Yay!
But there's no time for basking in your glory. Carmen is still out there, traveling the time tunnels, and until she's locked away, history won't be safe. Your next case will be your biggest. Chasing Carmen herself. Say you'll take it right now.
I almost want to find... You know what? I want to find out what happens if you say no.
You deserve a break after that great work. I'll hold down the fort till you come back.
Ah, that wasn't as fun as I thought it would be. Also, note, we have 3 stars now. We're on case C for Carmen.
the chase has changed, Time Sleuth. You've got the chrono skimmer, so you can go anywhere in time. Carmen, on the other hand, can only retrace the time tunnel she's already made. Since you're going after the most elusive thief of all time, you'll need all the help you can get. I'm sending all of Acme's good guides to help you out. You're the best team ever assembled, so don't let me down.
Wonder why everyone...
She's heading towards the Middle Ages. Let's go!
Wonder why everyone got different poses there.
You may have recovered your chrono skimmer and canned all my cohorts, but if you try to catch me, you'll be history. Speaking of which, that's exactly where I'm going. I'm off to complete Project History Sweep. Au revoir.
Greetings.
It's William!
With your help, I successfully subdued those Saxon hordes. The Doomsday Book was recovered, and I am still holding my throne. Please stay for another fancy feast.
Thanks for the invitation, but we're on the trail of a master criminal decked out in red.
Truly? I just recently met a woman wearing a red robe as long as my moat is wide. She muttered something about Roman to the capital of a great empire. She said she planned to take sides with an almost emperor who feared the Ides of March.
Et tu, William?
I overheard her say she would dock into an aqueduct.
Now we get an actual Carmen game in our Carmen Sandiego game.
Hail, travelers! Hello, friends.
Hail,
Thank you
Caesar.
for fixing the Roman sewers and recovering the Forum. You missed a splendid party. Please stay for the next one.
Hi there, Julius. We'd love to hang, but we're short on time. We're scoping the thieving trail of a woman dressed in red.
Red, you say? I just spoke with a woman in dashing red garments, as confident as a queen. She reminded me of Cleopatra. She was headed to a place where great symphonies of sound fill the air. She hoped to meet a cranky composer. She talked about building to a criminal crescendo, deep in an orchestra pit.
Well, Wolfgang.
Encore! And do it again, too. Hallo, grand to see you again. Since you helped me with mine 5th and 6th symphonies, acclaim and fame have been mine. Would you like to hear mine latest masterpiece?
Great to see you, Ludwig, but we can't delay. We're trailing a classic criminal dressed in brilliant red.
Red, you say? Why, I spoke with a woman not a day ago who was wrapped in a long red coat and possessed a notably bold manner. She left for a land of sweeping deserts and many-faced marvels with pointed tops. She planned to meet a famous Queen of the Nile. I heard her mention something about the best wraps to wear in the afterlife. It is all beyond my fashion sense, though.
Okay, so we can't leave, but there is a definite fails I want to show off. To the present day.
There's no sign of Carmen around here. Now get back out there and track her.
Nope. Oh, Chronopedia has an entry for present day. I've never actually read that chapter. I'm going to have to go back and do that.
Encore!
Yeah. There's multiple things for going to the present day, so...
What are you doing at Acme? Carmen hasn't made an appearance here.
Encore!
Come on. Stop doing that.
Quit hanging around the office. There's been no sign of Carmen here.
Oh, but you're too much fun, Chief.
Encore!
Why are you back in the office? No. No donuts till you catch Carmen.
She even has the jazz cup.
Encore!
No donuts until you catch Carmen. Oh, now it looks like it's looping.
There's no...
Okay.
Welcome. My temple is honored by your reappearance. My reign as Pharaoh is proceeding splendidly since you found the Book of the Dead for me. Would you care to take a dip in the Nile?
Hello, Hatshepsut. We're glad things are going swimmingly, but we don't have time for a dip. We're trying to put the finger on a master tomb thief, wrapped in red.
Why, I did see an unusual figure passing by my temple. I confronted her because the color red can only be worn by royalty in Egypt.
Was that a thing?
She mentioned a warm kingdom by the sea where men tempt horned beasts with red squares of cloth. Could she have meant the afterworld? She said she wanted to meet another great queen who commissioned voyages to a vast fertile continent. She confided her plans to navigate by compass over dangerous waters towards a new world.
To Spain! This one.
Welcome to my court.
You lost a couple maps.
How excellent to see you again. We've had nothing but smooth sailing since you put Columbus back on course. Have you returned for further voyaging?
No, fuck that.
Our apologies, Queen Isabella, but our sailing days are done. Now that things here are on an even keel, we need to tack towards a crafty crook. Seen anyone?
I was about to take a siesta when a scarlet señorita sailed through here. She was seeking a safe harbor, but could only stay for a moment. That woman declared she would visit a British Crown colony. She mentioned a meeting with some very independent legislators. She expressed a fondness for tea while describing her plans to bypass a Boston blockade.
To Philadelphia.
Welcome back.
This is really the only chance we see this room empty.
You have my eternal gratitude for helping us with the Declaration of Independence. Thanks to you, our revolution is rolling. You are, dare I say it, at liberty to stay with us as long as you like.
Thanks, Ben, but we can only stay a minute. We're on the trail of a master thief wearing a red coat.
Did you say red coat? I saw a woman fitting that description a short time ago. These days, wearing red does not go unnoticed. She was pressing ahead to reach an innovative print shop. She mentioned that she was inking a deal with a print specialist. She said she wanted to make a move on some movable type.
Well, time to go visit Gutenberg.
Good day. Ah, my friends, wunderbar. The printing press has been quite busy since you cleverly recovered my Bible. Would you care to join my next print run?
Thanks, Johann, but we need to press on. We're trying to cuff a supremely sneaky woman, all decked out in red.
Why, a charming woman in red just passed through here. We almost inked a printing deal together. With a devious smile, she flew off to the land of the feathered serpent. She went to share a cup of cocoa and astrological advice with a certain Central Emperor. She had a burning desire to attend some sort of fiery ceremony at its 52-year peak.
Quetzalcoatl.
Welcome back. Greetings once again. Thanks to your headdress help, the fire ceremony was a success and the sun was not snuffed out. Can you sacrifice some time for a visit?
Sorry, Montezuma, but we can't stop for long. We're pursuing a master thief in a blazing red hat.
A red hat, you say? Why, a woman with a headdress like the setting sun just blazed through here. She said it had just dawned on her to see the land of the rising sun. I saw her write down an idea about visiting the world's first novelist. She seemed all wrapped up in a scheme to carry off some kimonos.
To Japan! It's the fourth mission.
Hello again. Welcome back to Japan. Since you returned the moon to my chamber, I've been able to write again. Prince Genji has had many exploits, and my novel is almost complete. We must celebrate.
Hello, Murasaki. Glad to hear your novel's going well. Sorry, but we can't stay long. We're hot on the heels of a notorious red-clothed crook.
Also, I'm noticing a severe lack of moon in your room here.
I did see a tall foreigner in a dashing and unusual red outfit, but it wasn't a kimono. We exchanged inspired verse for a time. I almost wrote a poem about her marvelous red hat. She confided that she was off to the high mountains where people wear feathers and soft beaded leather. She said she planned to exchange some words with a woman renowned for her translating talents. She said she planned to She spoke of her longing to explore the rocky wilderness.
Alright, to the Rocky Mountains.
Greetings, friends. Thanks to you, we overcame a mountain of trouble, and now the core of discovery can continue on its journey. Would you like to join us?
We'd love to, Sacagawea, but we're tracking a tricky thief.
You know, I'm not sure which one of these actually tripped me up when I was a kid. I know I'd always go to the wrong place at least once.
Strange that you should ask. A woman dressed in red just blazed a trail through this wilderness.
Lady in red.
She said she was feeling lightheaded and wanted to visit the site of an illuminating discovery. She was preparing for a private powwow with someone who could shed light on her inventive ideas. She proposed her plans to filch a fiery filament and make a carbon copy.
It's only a couple steps ahead. Beep, beep.
Good day. Welcome back to the Menlo Park Labs, my friends. Since you helped finish my filament, affordable light bulbs have been lighting up everywhere. Interested in joining my research team?
Sorry, Edison. We deeply dig inventing some stuff with you, but we can't stay long. We're chasing down a world-class innovator in the field of thievery. She tends to dress in red.
You don't say. Well, just moments ago, I conversed with a striking woman in a long red coat. Oh, there was quite a spark between us.
No, bad Edison.
She said she was headed for a peaceful place called the Bright Country. She planned a gab with a ruler known for his generous gifts of gold. She muttered something about cruising with a caravan through a very dusty desert.
Mansa Musa. This one.
Shalom, travelers. Welcome, my friends. I am happy to see you. The salt you brought me made my pilgrimage possible. You will please me enormously if you choose to stay in Mali.
Why, hello, Mansa Musa. Thanks for the invitation, but we can't stay long. We're on the trail of a brilliant hoodlum. You haven't seen a woman dressed in red, have you?
Why, yes, I did see such a woman. You say she is a thief? My goodness, I took her for a diplomat from faraway lands. She said something about seeing a theater of global importance. She said something about meeting a certain dramatic queen. She said she wanted to meet a poet. I believe she dubbed him the Bard.
Oh, to England.
Hey, well met, fellows. Welcome, dear friends. Ever since you helped with the Globe's Wall, the play business has been booming. Would you care to join my growing troupe?
We'd love to, Will, but we're on the trail of a wily woman, a criminal genius sporting a crimson hat.
Why did Will only have one L there?
By my troth, a woman in a red-brimmed hat nearly stole the scene here a short time ago. She mentioned she'd taken a liking to a Norse colony. She mentioned she'd taken a liking... She announced, by faith, plans to meet a fellow named Leif. I believe she had something she wanted to join.
Greetings! Hail, travelers! Thanks to you, my troubles are a thing of the past. Greenland and I will soon be reunited.
We're glad to see everything is shipshape, Leif. Sorry to intrude, but we're searching for a slippery female suspect.
Just because I have to do it again. Hing-a-ding-a-durgan.
Did you say female? A formidable female just rushed through here faster than a Norse raid. She said she wanted to reach for the stars. She said she knew a man who could send her into orbit. She said she'd have a blast eating lunch on a launch pad.
Okay, so... Been there. Been there. Have not been there yet. Been there. Been there. Have not been there yet. Been there. Not been there. Yeah, we're almost done. Only like 3 other places to go after Yuri.
Comrade, you've returned. Thanks to you, I was the first man in space. I owe my orbit to you. Please, stay for a proper Russian celebration.
Hello, Yuri. We'd love to stay, but we're hot on the exhaust trail of a master thief in red. We can't let her reach escape velocity.
But I want some vodka.
Woman in red, you say? I believe I met this clever comrade. Such a mysterious appearance. I thought she was KGB.
You did not recognize her as the woman who tampered with your rocket?
Da. I believe she mentioned something about flying high in the Cusco clouds, atop the Andes. Da, I think she said something about meeting the son of the sun god. She said she was off to solve a knotty problem in an elevated empire.
So yeah, I'm not sure anymore which of the clues threw me off when I was a kid. I think it was the Mansa Musa one. I think instead of going to Mansa Musa, I would come to this guy instead.
By Vera Kocha, you have returned! With the recovery of the royal quipus, food transport is again back to normal. Would you care to watch the activity with me?
Thanks for your hospitality, Great Inca, but we're on a tight timetable. We're scouting for a clever thief, cloaked in red.
A woman in red? Ah, yes. I thought she was a messenger from the far reaches of my empire. My empire encompasses many distinct peoples, you see. She said something very odd. She said she wished to see a mulberry tree and contemplate the first source of paper money. She said she wanted to meet a majestic Mongol. She said she wanted to glide silkily along the Silk Road. But what is silk?
Here.
Welcome. I, the wise Kublai Khan, greet you.
Thanks to your smooth work with my precious oils, I have become close friends with Marco Polo, a most talented young man. Please, join me for some tea to celebrate.
We'd love to stay and chat, Kubla, but we're on something of a mission. We're chasing an arch thief who wears an excess of red.
Ah, perhaps you refer to a smooth-tongued woman who slipped by here not long ago. She borrowed some of my oil, claiming she needed it to grease the wheels of her escape. I recall hearing her mutter something about feeling like a heel if she was late to a boot-shaped country. She said she'd thought of an inventive way to meet a certain Italian inventor. Without a trace of a smile, she said she would wipe the smirk from La Gioconda.
Leonardo!
Who's there? Ah, hello again. Now that I've finished the Mona Lisa, thanks to you, of course, my studies in science, art, and humor have flourished. Well, the science and art, anyway.
Glad to hear things are going well, Leonardo. You do seem a little funnier. A little. Sorry for barging in, but we're on the trail of a cunning criminal dressed in red. Have you seen her?
Are you referring to a beautiful woman in a red hat, perhaps? I offered to paint her portrait, but she just smiled and disappeared. She said she could no longer suspend a visit to a grand bridge with a golden gate. She said she was interested in seeing one person, chiefly. She planned to start a countdown at the latest space shuttle launch, saying the age of Vostok was old news.
Okay, that is a bad hint there. Because that last hint almost makes it sound like she went back to Russia.
Where is it? Aha! I believe it's time to rise to the occasion. Good try, good guide, but I'm afraid you're too late. I have what I came for, and I just don't have time to chat.
We caught a Carmen!
You nabbed Carmen Sandiego just as she was about to complete Project History Sweep, a plan to steal a certain Acme dossier. Why would Carmen be after such a file? Well, now that you have proven yourself to be among Acme's elite, I can let you in on a piece of top secret, confidential, highly classified information. Carmen Sandiego was once an Acme detective.
Gasp!
Yes, that's right, Time Sleuth. Carmen was one of our brightest stars, rising from a gumshoe to a master detective faster than any agent in Acme history. Unfortunately, catching crooks became too easy for Carmen. She needed greater intellectual challenge. And what could be more challenging than outsmarting Acme? Her personal dossier records the sad tale of how Carmen turned from our best agent to our most formidable opponent. Carmen must have thought that by stealing this file she could obliterate her past, but due to your brilliant sleuthing, her top secret history is still intact. And Carmen Sandiego is finally behind bars where she belongs. I thank you. Acme thanks you. And history thanks you.
You may have prevented me from erasing my own embarrassing Acme history, but rest assured, given time, you won't hold on to Carmen Sandiego for long.
And that's it. We now have the rank of Carmen. Also, I still don't know how to activate that, special mode. Is it under the options, maybe? No? Well, if I dug out the manual, I could probably figure it out, but that's pretty much it. That is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego, one of my favorite games from my childhood. Let me release the mouse here. And that took about as long as I thought it would. A little under 2 hours, so I will be back with a new game next time. I still haven't quite settled on what I'm going to do next. Probably not an RPG, though, again. Sort of Mana kind of burned me out a bit, so have a good evening.